West Tigers fans, we just got a ton of promising news for the future of the club. We're going to be breaking that down. Plus, we're going to be breaking down the new Origin rules and what that means for our guy, Terrell May. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to NRL Deep Dive. My name is Geordie, and I'm a diehard Tigers fan, baby, if you couldn't tell. So if you love the West Tigers as much as I do, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. It helps me and the algorithm out a ton. So let's get into it, because today we've got a hot topic that is sparking a lot of debate across the rugby league world, and that is the new eligibility rules. And stay tuned to the end of the video too, because we got some really promising news for the club that we have to touch base on. These changes are definitely shaking things up across the NRL, and especially for the West Tigers and our biggest young talent, Terrell May. Now, if you missed it, Phil Gould came out swinging. He basically said what a lot of us have been thinking: the current Origin eligibility rules are so outdated. Pardon me. Players like Payne Haas and Kalen Ponga have had to choose between representing their heritage on the international stage or being available for state of origin. And let's be real, that shouldn't be a choice players are forced to make anymore. And in Gould's eyes, and mine too, you shouldn't have to sacrifice your cultural identity to play the most iconic series in rugby league. And that brings us to the West Tigers. And this is, I think, where it gets really interesting, because this debate isn't just about New South Wales or Queensland or even just Australia versus Samoa or Tonga. It's about the next generation of players coming through our system, and one of those guys is Terrell May, is front and center in that conversation. He's a name we're going to be hearing a lot more of, especially if these eligibility rules change and open new doors. And he's already been questioned by the press on if he's feeling ready, and he says, I do. And Terrell is the kind of player, I think, who represents exactly what rugby league needs more of. He is tough, he is talented, he is grounded, he's well-spoken, he brings aggression on and off the field, in the middle, but also has that finesse and game awareness of someone who beyond the years of his age, right? He's come through a system that hasn't always been kind of a young Pacific Islander player. The Tigers credit, that's where the credit is due. It's the Tigers. They're flipping the script. They are actively investing in cultural connection, grassroots development, and long-term support systems for players who don't want to just be footy stars, but want to be great people and represent their culture. And that's why these rules could be a game changer. So imagine this, lean in real quick. Imagine Terrell May playing State of Origin in June and then turning around literally and playing for Samoa or even Tonga at the end of the year and representing them. You think that doesn't light a fire under fans or under players? That doesn't just create massive cultural pride across the rugby league communities. It's exactly what we need in this sport and exactly what NRL needs as a whole. So let's not sugarcoat it. These dual eligibility situations have always been awkward, but the international game is evolving. Samoa making a World Cup final, Tonga beating Australia. These aren't just underdog fairy tales anymore. These are powerhouse performances, and it's time the rules caught up, in my opinion. And Phil Gould also said, it may not be perfect, but he's pushing the conversation, I think, into a necessary territory of discussion that we need to have. So let's bring it back to the Tigers again, because the club is doing more than just signing players. They are building something special. Have you guys heard of the Empower Club Ambassador Program? This isn't just a PR stunt. I've done a lot of research into it. It is a legit pathway linking NRL players to grassroots clubs, especially in culturally rich communities, right? So Terrell May is being involved in programs like this. It does two things for him. It strengthens his root, gives younger kids someone to look up to, someone who talks like them, has gone through the same thing as them, understands what they've gone through, and just, that's massive. That is a legacy this bloke is leaving and other players are leaving with these kids. And I think this is where the Tigers are separating themselves from other clubs in the league. A lot of teams, they are developing youths, right, but what are they really doing is just stockpiling cheap talent, hoping someone breaks out, right? The Tigers are building a culture, though. They are saying we want to develop young men and women of character who stay connected to their identity and who can play both their badge and their background. You see this with Terrell. You see that with Latu Fainu and his brothers. You see it with what we're building with Bulla and Taruva, and even rumored of the pursuit of Taylor May. It's all just aligning, and I don't know, it's just beautiful. And if we do get Taylor May and having him in, it's all just gonna be aligned. Now let's go deeper. Let's talk about how these rule changes, might shift recruitment strategies, because that is a hot topic too. So if you're a young Pacific Islander player with dreams of state origin and the international footy, where are you going to go? I think a club that supports both goals, right? And that's where the Tigers can offer. They can offer that right now, because if Phil Gould's vision comes true, if these rules are loosened and players can rep both their state and their heritage, the Tigers are positioned, I think, to be the destination club. That's not hype. Like, that is fact. We have the groundwork. It is being laid right now. We have the diversity and the culture, but let's not pretend this isn't complicated as well, because some people argue that origin should strictly be people who bleed blue or maroon. And same thing for like Samoa or Australia or Tonga, and you would be locked out of the origin. But that is an outdated way of thinking, in my opinion. It assumes that like heritage and home can't exist together, and that's just not how modern identity works. Let me know if you think I'm tripping. But players can love Australia and love Samoa. They can love New South Wales and love Tonga. And if you're serious about growing the game, especially in communities that have been historically overlooked, we need to allow space for both. Would you guys not agree? So what happens next? Well, this is, we wait to see if the NRL actually follows through with all this on what Gould is actually proposing. But in the meantime, like, the Tigers need to keep doing what they are doing. They're going to keep investing in people like Terrell May, keep building those bridges to the grassroots clubs, keep like supporting dual pathways for players who want to rep their heritage. Because if they do, they'll not only build a winning team, they will build a movement and a sport that will be worldly, like internationally recognized. And I think that's the part people are missing. Like, this isn't just about footy anymore. It's cultural, it's generational, and the West Tigers, for the first time in a long time, are on the right side of that shift. Terrell May isn't just future origin player. Like, he is part of a bigger wave of athletes who are changing what it means to wear a jersey, who can be a role model to a trailblazer and a damn good prop. I'm gonna say it all at the same time. So let's I think we got to back the bloke. Let's back the club and let the future of the young players be where they don't have to choose between pride and opportunity, right? They can have both. That's what Origin should be, right? That's what the Tigers are standing for, and that's what we'll keep fighting for on this channel. All right, so let me know what you think in the comments. Are you with Gould on this one? Should players like Terrell May be able to represent both their heritage and their state? And how do you think the Tigers should position themselves in all of this? I'll be reading every single comment, so get involved. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all the fun things. Hit that notification bell. Before we do, we got to talk about one more bloke. You may have seen the article from Zero Tackle about Jared Haywood, and there is a lot of noise around it. Haywood's journey through the rugby league is a classic tale of players who didn't, get the early recognition, but have steadily fought their way into the conversation. Some people argue that it's a case of someone being overlooked despite their talent. Others, like Haywood himself, have been very, very vocal about how tough it has been coming through the ranks without the same opportunities or attention. Now, let's be clear, like, Haywood's story isn't just about the one player's journey. It's a reflection, I think, of a broader issue in the rugby league. A lot of talented guys don't always get the recognition they deserve, no doubt, and it's why we should care about how the West Tigers handle their young guns. Again, players like Terrell May, for example, need that kind of pathway where their potential is nurtured, where they also need to have a real shot as well. The Tigers' approach to empowering young players is in part about giving them that platform, one that can kind of counter the struggles guys like Haywood have to go face to face with. And that's where it gets interesting, because in the Zero Tackle article, Haywood talks about how tough it is to break into the system, especially when there are so many barriers to entry. That's something that the Tigers are going to have to balance as they grow their young talent. There's a fine line between developing players and giving them opportunities at the right time. It's a mistake many clubs make, for sure. They either rush players too quickly or hold them back too long. But for Haywood, man, this guy, watching him just in some videos, the way that he can play the footy, the way that his character is, like, I think he's going to be in our club, in like the professional league with our boys like Terrell May and Lockie Galvin. Like, he is just a phenomenal player. He's like just coming up so well, and he is doing so good with the footy that I would love to see him get more opportunities from Benji and the coaching staff to prove that he has what it takes to be a Tiger, right? So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the young fella and on Haywood overall? Like his playing style, what he's good at, what he maybe needs to focus on more. But you know, I like the way that Benji's pushing these young guns. We saw Fatape out on the field a couple weeks ago. Not a great performance, but he still had a shot, and that's what I love about this club is like Benji's going to give the kids shots, you know, and that's what it's all about. Like they should have an opportunity to prove themselves and to show what they are capable of. Same thing with like Tufainu and his brothers. Like the way that Benji is nurturing them and the club is nurturing them, be like, hey, we see a lot of potential in you. You play great footy. Here is a stage to do that. And if you don't do it great, that's okay. We will go back to the drawing board. We might have someone else step in, like Luke Lailili, and man, he is on fire too. But yeah, just so much potential is brewing in this club from young to older, like, and more veteran, and I'm so freaking excited to see what this club does over the next couple years. But yeah, let me know in the comment some other contenders that you think are worth mentioning that are going through our training programs and our different grassroots programs and things like that. But I saw the article in Zero Tackle, and I've been thinking about Haywood a lot lately too, seeing his social media and stuff. And yeah, I think the bloke makes a great point. There is a lot of barriers to entry into the footy, but he is making a journey, and I think his journey is going to be so powerful. But he is going to... It's no early recognition, like I said, but he will make a statement for himself. And when he's on the field, he's going to give it his all because he wasn't given anything, and he was, you know, he fought for it like all of these players did, you know. So super pumped for the future of the West Tigers. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Kind of a longer one today, but wanted to touch on the Origin stuff, and also just wanted to bring up a little bit about Haywood and kind of how excited I am for all the young talent developing in this club. But as always, it is a great freaking year to be a Tigers fan, and we have so much to dream big about, baby. Take it easy, guys. The Legends, Geordie out.